What up? What up? What up? What's going on? Happy Tuesday. This is week 8, day 2, Tuesday, man. Super excited that we bring you another Transformation Tuesday. I'm in the studio. We're here recording premium workouts. If you don't have premium, what are you doing? Like, what are you waiting on? What is the problem? But nevertheless, it is Transformation Tuesday. So you know the drill. If you're watching on our public Facebook page, you can share this on your page. You can tag a friend that's not an E2M. If you're watching on YouTube, you can do the same thing. You can share that link on your public page, make it available. And if you're inside of the group, tag all your friends. This is week 8, especially if they're new G, because you're getting ready to graduate. Super excited about that portion going from new G to OG. That's going to happen this weekend. Make sure you tune into that. Also, if you're catching this on replay, man, type replay in the comment section. What that does is that actually draws more attention to this live. The more people interact with it, the more it will show up in the algorithm when it comes inside the group. So if you're watching the replay, hit replay. But if other than that, tag your folks. I see y'all jumping in on the Facebook public page. What's going on? What's up, Kev? What's going on, people? Tag your folks. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Happy Tuesday. Again, have a special guest. The special guest was a recommendation back in my former podcast life. We used to call it Recos. We get Recos and we talk about them, but this was a recommendation that as soon as they said it, I was like, absolutely, this can be the next guest, because I love this guest energy, and been seeing this guest for a while inside the group. So I think you guys are gonna really enjoy it. But man, I hope you guys are enjoying the Transformation Tuesdays. Again, this is week 8, and the theme. So if you want to win $100, listen real close. If you want to win $100 cash, cold cash, $100, all you got to do is find this week's theme, which is, I think, is eager to celebrate. Post a post on your personal page, Instagram or Facebook, using hashtag eager to celebrate, and I will randomly pick somebody. I've been doing it the whole 8 weeks. If you miss it, oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on. You're missing out on money. But I'll randomly pick 7 people, one for each day of the week. If you make a public post, and I mean, it's week 8, you got plenty to celebrate. So eager to celebrate is the hashtag. And we will give 7 people $100 on Friday. So if you don't know, now you know. All right, no other announcements. We're going to bring in my special guest. Coming to the stage, to the microphone, is Miss Carrie. What's going on?
Hey, how are you?
I am great. I am super excited to have you on. Again, you were as a recommendation, and as soon as they dropped the name, I was like, absolutely, we got to bring her on. So I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to give you the floor. I want to hear about your health and fitness journey prior to E2M, and then how you discovered E2M.
So prior to E2M, probably about 90% of the people in E2M have got the same story. We probably tried, several different diet programs and, jumped up and down in our weight. My diet program of choice was Nutrisystem. And the first time I did Nutrisystem, I lost, I think, 42 pounds. And I thought that was huge. I was all excited. I think I was a size 10, and I was like all excited. And then after I had my baby, I jumped on it again because it had worked in my 20s. So like, hey, let's try it again. But I kept gaining the weight back. It never was good. And then at some point, I hated exercise, absolutely hated exercise. But I joined a gym, and I was like, okay, in order to make this exercise thing work, I better hire the personal trainer, because then I've got an appointment. I'm going to have to be here. Well, that lasted until I was like, oh, this is way expensive. I can do this on my own. No, that didn't work. I know several people in my community are in E2M, and I'd heard some people talking about it, but I never really understood exactly what it was, except that they carried around these big jugs of water and ordered strangely when we went to lunch and things like that. But I found it actually scrolling Facebook, and it popped up. I was in the car with my husband, we were driving somewhere, and I said, I said, here we are again. This is in October, beginning of November is 2022. So I said, here we are again hitting the holidays, and the average person gains 10 pounds during the holidays. And I'm just done. I really, and this program here looks pretty good. What do you think? And he's like, well, if you want to try it, that'd be fine. I mean, at that point, I think I weighed like 230, 235. And I was just, again, very upset with myself. And I said, all right, I'm going to try it. Let's see what happens. And I asked him 4 times. So they say there's a buy one, get one free. Do you want to do this with me? No, this is your thing. This is your thing. I like 4 times he said no. I was like, okay, fine. So he doesn't do E2M. So a lot of times I have to sit on the couch and watch him eat chips and pizzas, whatever, while I'm sitting there having my chicken and asparagus. But it's all a mindset, and so I can manage that okay. But that's kind of before E2M, and once I got in, the first couple of days I found it overwhelming, a really hard time trying to figure out the program. I was working in a volunteer position with another friend who we had talked about dieting and so forth. She actually joined E2M in my second round. But I didn't want to tell her at first that I was in this program, where I was like, because we were going to like try to lose weight together. And here I go and join this program. So finally, about 3 or 4 days in, I said, we went to Lizard's Thicket. On Monday nights, we would go to choir in Florence, which is about 2 hours from me. And so we would eat on our way to choir practice. And so I'm like, oh, I gotta have like meat and vegetables. So around, I don't know if like everybody's not gonna know what Lizard's Thicket is, but it's what's called a meat and 3. So for people that are kind of outside of our area, they may not understand meat and 3 either, but you pick 1 meat and 3 vegetables on your plate. So it was the best choice for me to go to Lizard's Thicket. And so then finally that night at dinner, I told her, look, I'm on this program. I don't really know exactly how it works. I'm still trying to figure it all out. But I'm going to be eating a little different. We're not going to be able to stop and go wherever. And so I started packing my dinners. And so she would go through the drive-through and get whatever. And I had my dinner packed. And so she watched what I did. And then, like I said, in round 2, she joined me. And then we packed meals. And we would then go to we sing at a church. So we would get to the church early and heat our meal. In fact, we still do that when choir's in session. We're on summer break, but we take our meals and we heat them up and we sit in the kitchen, and now choir members come in and, oh, what's for dinner today? And kind of check us out. So that's kind of how I got started in E2M. And like I said, I've kind of brought a few people along with me. I've had people reach out to me that I never would have thought would have reached out to me. In August, after I had hit my goal weight and I was still kind of maintaining, but I hadn't signed up for maintenance. I have actually reached out in the inbox for maintenance at the beginning of this round, actually, and I'm doing pretty well with that. But in August, when I pretty much lost, that's in, let's see, that was 2022, August, last August. So it's not even been quite a year. I had this guy reach out to me who had been friends with my son. He was in school a year behind my son, but we lived in the same neighborhood. So they played together in the neighborhood. His name's DJ Keen. And a lot of people in E2M know DJ because he's just a crazy guy and he's loud. A lot different. Well, I don't know. I'm kind of personable and loud, but not like DJ. DJ is a whole different breed. So we're not exactly people that you would think would be like, bosom buddies. But he, like I said, hung out with my son. So, he's a lot younger than I am. So he had seen my pictures and things in the group, and he reached out to me and he said, I need an accountability partner. I've fallen off and I've gained some weight and I want to get back on track. And so I was like, hey, I'll meet you for coffee on Sunday afternoon. And we met at a local coffee shop on Sunday afternoon. I took him some E2M coffees. I took him a tracker. I said, we're going to make a plan. He was into the gym workouts, which I had never done in E2M. And this was like round 5, I guess, for me. And I said, okay, I can try the gym workouts. We'll see. So I started lifting weights with him. We went to the gym together. Then a few weeks after I started working with DJ, my hairdresser asked me about E2M. And she's like, hey, I see what you're doing and I want to get in. And I was like, absolutely. So she joined. And so I did the same thing. I met with her. I gave her some trackers and a clipboard and some coffee and gum. Oh, yeah, I give everybody gum. And I said, whatever you need, let me help you out. And then I got to thinking about it. I was like, okay, this is crazy. I can't just like keep meeting people all the time. So I said, I'm going to start a group where they're going to come to me. So I started an accountability group in Little Mountain. It's kind of outside of Columbia by about 30 minutes. There's a couple of really good accountability groups. I think Adrian's got one. I know Deidre has got one. I know Todd and his wife, Trevisha, they do the monthly workouts. So there was monthly workouts and there was some other accountability groups like down towards Columbia, but not up, where we are in the Chapin Little Mountain area. And I didn't really want to do a workout group. I wanted to do a group where we kind of sat and talked. That's one of the things I liked about the Nutrisystem was like I went in, of course, Nutrisystem doesn't do this anymore, I don't think, but this was way back in the day. We would come in every week and sit around the table and talk about our week. And, that's when we bought our food and took it home with us and all that stuff. So I wanted to get back to that interaction with people where we just sat and talked about, well, what's going on and how, some of the obstacles that we had. And so last October, I started a little group in Little Mountain. We call ourselves E2M for Life, which I got that from you on the Bad Podcast.
Yeah.
Baby. I loved it. I was like, I love that, E2M for Life. So that's kind of what we call our group. And I've actually had a lot of people join the group and that on our little Facebook. And I said, well, I'd heard Jeff say, don't do that. Don't Facebook, just make a text message and do all this stuff. And we have a little text thread for the people that actually meet. There's probably about 8 or 9 of us that get together. But then I have people in the group that can't meet. Like they had other things going on Sunday afternoons. And I wanted to do it on Sunday afternoons because that's the end of one week and starting into the fresh week. So I said, well, I'm going to keep this little group going. And I put little cute things out there and try to encourage people through that little group as well. So that's kind of like my little attitude. Oh, and we got a shout out from Dr. Carolyn. She actually found our little group from a picture because we post an accountability picture each week of who's at our meetings. And we'll have anywhere from one person to, I think we've had as many as 8 people come to a meeting. And she saw a little post and she saw my write-off board. Wipe-off board was on the behind us, and it had some of the notes of the things we were talking about. And so she's like, I saw this little group in Little Mountain, and I had to pull up a map and see where they were. It just made our day. We've all been very thrilled that we actually invited Dr. Carolyn to join our AP group, and she's in our little Facebook group.
That is awesome. Listen, Carrie, you bring so much, and we talked about this before we went live. How you give so much of your time, and I'm a little jealous. I didn't get a Carrie startup kit, with gum and clipboard, and that sounds like the perfect E2M startup kit. Like I'm just a little. I just feel like I didn't have a good experience because I didn't get a good start. No,
I have to see if I can find you one of my little snack bags and send
there you go. No, that's amazing. And it's Jeff said it earlier. Is really good to see, and this is why I like this for week 8 because a lot of new G's when they come in, they like you said, they're trying to figure it out. They're trying to get things started. But you see, like this isn't my program. This isn't Jeff's program. This is our program.
Right.
The program is virtual, but the community is real. Jeff, I stole that from you. Jeff made that quote earlier. So I just want to throw that out there. But no, so it's our program. And like you did, you took ownership of the program and you was like, hey, I'm going to help people get in. I'm going to help them get started, and that's what it's all about. Even no matter where you are, no matter if you had a great round or not so good, nevertheless, the program still works. The people are still real. And I just love the way you took ownership and pretty much created your own village in
Well,
Little Mountain.
E2M changed my life. I
Right.
mean, literally, not just the fact that I've lost 90 pounds.
Oh yeah,
There's
let's bring
more
that up.
than that. I was running a nonprofit for 17 years and I was just burnt out. I was throwing everything into it because I had set it up in memory of my son. And it was sort of my way of holding on to that. And someone said to me, he's been gone now 17 years and you're still, still doing stuff as if he were still here. And it was true. It was true. I really had been, and I put time and energy and money and so much into trying to make this nonprofit work. And we did good things. We hosted a race, a 5K race for 5 years. Actually, when I decided to leave. So we did 6 years, actually. We had our sixth and final race last Labor Day weekend. But E2M was part of that, listening to the mental fitness. And, Dr. Reese had given us some kind of little quiz one time. And, I was the rule follower. So I pretty much, followed what I was supposed to do. And I thought that's what I was supposed to do. We gave scholarships to kids that gave back in the community. We gave like $44,000 in scholarships over those years. And I really felt like I was doing good and it's what I needed to do. But it was basically eating me alive just because it was just constant. And so I took the mental fitness for more than just the food side of it. It just really set my mind into, well, there's other things I need to change. Like I need to change my life. So now I work part-time in a frame shop and we closed up the race, but I really enjoyed, the race and the things that I did. I think that's probably one of the keys that pushed me into losing weight too, though, because I was always joking that I'm a non-running race director and I used to go to these 5Ks to see what other people were doing and I walked them and it would take me over an hour. Sometimes I was the very last person coming in at like an hour and 13 minutes. It was ridiculous. And then I just did I think the last 5K that I did, an official timed one, was the one out in Myrtle Beach, and my time was like 34 minutes.
Wow.
I'm a runner now.
Hey.
Go figure.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So I want to highlight two things before we get ready to wrap this up. You mentioned working with the frame company and you made this graphic. I thought it was really cool. And I'm gonna throw it on the screen. I think it covers us up, but this is the before and after, man. For those on the outside looking in, she didn't always look, she always looked good, but she looks really good now. And here's a glimpse of
it's
her
amazing. I
what she used to
posted
look like.
that at the beginning of this round to welcome the NGs, saying, hey, we all have a beginning. You're going to see pictures of people on here doing their workouts, and but we've all started from somewhere.
Absolutely. And that's super important. Like you said at the beginning of a round, a lot of people see us where we are now. They don't know where we started. Same goes for me. So Ms. Carrie, this has been fun.
Before I leave, I do want to say one more thing though.
Okay. I was gonna give you the floor.
I just want people to understand that you can reach out to somebody in the group and don't be afraid to reach out to somebody. In, I guess, November of last year. Yeah, it was November. It was right around Thanksgiving. I got a direct message from a girl named Beverly Berry. She is in Clinton, Maryland, but there's a Clinton, South Carolina, about 20 minutes from me.
Clinton, North Carolina, too.
And I thought she had seen our AP group and she was just looking to join our group. And she said, hey, I've seen your stuff on E2M. I can't find anything. I've been in this group for a while. I haven't done anything. I'm not doing the food. I'm not doing the extra because I can't find anything. I don't know how to work it. So I said, oh, you're right up the road from me. Like, let's meet for coffee. And she's like, well, I'm in Clinton, Maryland, not Clinton, South Carolina. So I said, okay, let's FaceTime and I will show you on the computer screen. I said, I can show you how to maneuver the group, how to find things. She's like, oh, I really appreciate it. And then she's like, can you like talk to me once a week? And so we've been talking on Friday mornings since November. And she has now in the group, she started to exercise. She started posting. I have seen a complete turnaround in Beverly, and I have to give her a shout out. I just have to.
Absolutely. No, I'm glad you made sure we got that out. That is awesome. So again, thank you so much for
one more thing. I almost
okay. All right, you gonna get me in trouble now.
I wanted to share it, and I did get permission to share it.
Okay.
So anybody who is like been running 5Ks and you're thinking, hey, I want to do a 10K, and then you do some 10Ks and you're thinking, well, I want to do a half, but a half's like double. So that's a lot. You can actually sign up for a half marathon in a relay race. And it's a little bit more if you can do 2 or 3 people. So if you did 3 people, you could do a little under a 10K. But if you only did 2 people, then you do a little over 10K. Anyway, I decided that's what I wanted to do. So on Monday, I'm listening to Dr. Carolyn, and she's talking about how she's getting ready to do her strength training for the 5K, the 10K training program. That's an E2R, right? I'm like, oh, well, I just started that. And then I remember her saying she wanted to come to some meetups and meet people, right? Everybody needs to come to a meetup. You got to find some meetups and come to meetups. You just have to. You make those personal connections. It's huge. So I reached out to Dr. Carolyn, and I was like, hey, let's do this half marathon as a relay team. So she said, let me think about it. Well, this morning she got back to me, and we're going to be a team.
All right,
we're going to relay at the Charlotte Marathon.
All right, that's awesome. Shout out to Dr. Carolyn. Gonna come in and be your relay partner. That's super awesome, super dope. Good deal. All right. Anything else?
I don't think so.
All right, good deal. Well, listen, again.
I think everybody needs to come to the gala. The gala last year was the bomb. And if you're in the Columbia area, I think I saw Todd Meekin said there might be a few tickets left for the sneaker ball this Saturday here in Columbia. And that's going to be huge because Jeff's going to be the MC.
There you go. There you go. I love it.
You got to get to these groups and meet these people. If you don't get out and meet the coaches, I mean, it just makes it huge. It really keeps you accountable. And it's just huge. It's
absolutely,
like you said, it's the community.
That's right.
But you got to get outside of the Facebook and meet people in person too.
Exactly. Good stuff. All right. Well, listen, you got me in trouble. We went over, so I'm gonna send Jeff. I'm gonna send Jeff to you.
I'm a talker.
Yeah. But I appreciate your time. I'm gonna pull you off and close it out. So thank you guys for tuning in to Transformation Tuesday. Like I said, it's week 8. Super proud of the new G's. No matter what you did, if you only did one day, if you only drank water one day, whatever you did is better than what you did before you started the program. So stay encouraged, stay motivated, and like Carrie said, man, get together, man, find some groups, find some people, find your tribe. Until next time, we out of here.